Hey, what's happening, Wargamers? Welcome to another Super Tuesday video where we are taking a look at whatever products I happen to be interested in this week. And as the trend has been, it has been Marvel Crisis Protocol. And we are taking a look at one of the most recent releases, which is Mr. Sinister. So really excited about this one. But as we get going, just as a friendly reminder, any little support that you can give this channel is a huge, huge help. So if you could just hit that like and subscribe button and maybe leave some comments below, that would be fantastic. As I struggle with this plastic because I don't have my knife on me. So anyway, here we go. So we're cracking into it. So right off the bat, we'd expect the miniature base, obviously, stat card. There is a crisis card, there's some tactic cards, and there is some tokens here. And this is one that I've kind of been excited for. I've always kind of dug Mr. Sinister as a villain. I've always enjoyed him. Can't really say why, because I'm not entirely sure why, but, you know, there we go. So let's get some stuff out of the way here and take a look at everything. So off the bat, the instructions are actually pretty straightforward. There's only about 9 steps here. Nothing too complicated. His cape thing looks like it might be a bit of a pain to assemble and paint, or rather just paint. But I don't know. We'll take a look at that as we're going through here. He does have his leg coming out of the smoky area there, which I've heard some people complain about. I don't know if it's really a deal breaker for me at this point, but it is definitely something to be mindful of. All right, so let's see. What do we got here? We got a whole bunch of tokens here. These, I believe, are supposed to be like the genetic tokens. These are probably his objective tokens right there. And some chains, which I don't know what these are supposed to be. Maybe like a root mechanic or something like that. I am not entirely sure. But more tokens. This game is not lacking tokens, that is for sure. There's many, many tokens here. As far as the cards go, let's see, what do we got here? We got whoops, sorry about that. As I just sort of recenter everything. So we got ourselves the Cloning Banks, which is an unaffiliated reactive tactics card. During the cleanup phase, Sinister plays the card, and instead of discarding it, so during each cleanup phase, during the one in which this card is played, Sinister may move any number of genetic sample tokens from himself to this card. If this card has been played during any power phase, you remove any number of genetic sample tokens from this card and discard it. If you do, place an unused character from your roster with a threat value equal to half the number of genetic samples removed or lower into play within range. Wow. Okay, that's kind of crazy. It's starting to see mechanics that play with the roster, bringing a little lackey into the game. That is kind of crazy. I really enjoy that. What else do we got here? We got Forced Extraction, which is an unaffiliated reactive or active card. Sinister spends 1 power to play. 3 other allied characters within range 3 of Sinister suffer 1 damage. Sinister gains genetic sample tokens equal to the damage suffered. So as we're going to see on this card, that's actually kind of a cool thing there. And then we got our Crisis, which is the Deadly Legacy Virus Cured, which basically is a bunch of secure or extraction objectives. Picking up the objectives. Now, if you happen to get 3 of them, it looks like you KO the character holding them and you gain 8 victory points, which is kind of crazy. Otherwise, you're just scoring 1 for holding 1 at the end of a turn. So, and that is a 19 threat one. That is kind of crazy. I'm looking forward to playing that one. And then we got Sinister's card itself, and let me just, there we go. And love the artwork on the card right there. That's a lot of fun. I like that. So 6 stamina on one side, 5 on the other. He is a threat 4 size, 3 with medium movement, 3s across the board except for his Mystic, which is a 4. Oh, sorry, just trying to get this light out of the way here. I don't think that's going to happen. And let's see here. So we got his Strike, his Builder, which is basically a Strength 5, Range 3. We got his Genetic Splicing, which is a 1 power Strength 5, Beam 4, and he gets genetic sample tokens after each attack is resolved. So that's how he's getting his extra little resources there. We have Recombinant Disintegration, which is a Strength 6, 6 power and area equal to the number of genetic sample tokens he has, with quite the wild follower. So it's a wild crit and a hit. After the attack is resolved, each enemy character within range of this attack suffers 1 damage. Oh, whoops. So that's kind of cool right there. All right, we got some really neat stuff with Sinister at the moment. We got Engineered Perfection, which is a 0-cost superpower. Remove any number of genetic sample tokens from this character. Remove 1 special condition from this character for each token removed once per turn. Genetic negation for 1 power. Choose an enemy character within range 3 of this character and remove 1 genetic sample token from the character. And if you do, the chosen character gains the root special condition. Okay, so those are those chains we saw earlier. Alright, I keep losing focus here. Such fun little playthings. For 2 power, choose an enemy character within range 3 and advance the character short. Superpower can be used once per turn. I always love some movement shenanigans. We have molecular regeneration. If this character would suffer damage, it may use the superpower. Remove any number of genetic sample tokens from the character and reduce the damage by 1. Very nice. And then DNA database. This character may have a maximum of 3 genetic sample tokens at any time. And flight. I really dig his card. Although, interestingly enough, no affiliation on this. I believe he's hit Cabal, but that is it. So he's not a leader of the Marauders or anything, which is a little disappointing. I think a lot of people were maybe hoping to see that hit the table, but it appears not to be the case. So let's see here. So we got ourselves our big old bases here. I believe these are the 50 millimeter bases. And then we got Sinister himself. So got a lot going on here. Looks like there's a couple components that need to go on to assemble his arms and legs and everything like that. And, you know, not a big fan of that. I feel like they probably could have done those in one sprue, but not a big problem. Got his little mysterious vat smoke there, which it's kind of a shame that he always has his leg coming out of that. There's no pose without that, which unfortunate, but it is what it is. This cloak cape thing is still kind of interesting because it looks like it's got the inner ones right there. This is the outer layer. That one's going to be a bit of a nightmare to paint. I might have to do that one separately, probably just for ease. Otherwise, you know, drive myself crazy. But anyway, you guys know the drill. We are going to take a quick editing break and go off and get this guy assembled and hopefully painted, and then check out the rest. So be right back. So we are now looking at Mr. Sinister here. We got a little bit of paint on him. We got him assembled, and just taking a quick peek at him. And the model in general, it's a very simple, confident pose. I actually really like it. You know, the foot in the little toxic flame thing here. It would be nice to kind of have the full leg, but I do like the idea that it looks like he's stepping out of a cloning vat. It's a really nice touch, really nice effect to it. Just as far as the type of villain that he is, I actually really dig the whole thing. If there's any parts about the model that I wish they did a little bit differently, it is his cape. This thing was a bit of a nightmare to put together and paint. I highly recommend doing it in 2 separate pieces. Otherwise, you know, you're never going to be getting in there because there is, as you can see here, the 2 layers of the cape itself. They actually assemble 2 separate pieces before you tack it on. But all in all, the model itself is quite nice. It's an enjoyable model. It's one that I think is going to look great on the table. I like the nice big base on it. It really gives him that nice sort of confident pose. I also really dig the face on him as well. Like, there is just so much detail in there. As you can see, I still got to do his little goatee there, his soul patch. But the face itself just has so much nice detail to it. It really stands out, even at a distance. Like, if you had this, you know, 2 feet away, it just really picks up the contrast really nicely. It's super easy to paint as well because of that. Like, you can just do a base layer and a nice light contrast paint, and it does the trick perfectly for you. So in general, Sinister, you know, really solid model. Really looking forward to seeing him on the table. So there we go. So if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Any little support helps. And of course, just keep watching the channel for more content and leave some comments below. I love to hear from you all. And as always, happy wargaming.